Is it going live now?
Hello.
Hi, afternoon.
How do you say hello in Hokkien?
It's not all
Bo?
Hobo.
Obo.
Hobo.
Hobo is how are
It's
you?
like homo, right? I don't know. I wonder if Mr. Lim is there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, forgot. I am confess I am half Hokkien lah, but I didn't grow up speaking it.
Seriously?
My dad
Me,
is
shame on you.
my dad is Hokkien, but I didn't grow up speaking Hokkien. I grew up with Mandarin and
Hua Hi Tio Ho.
mostly informal spoken Mandarin and and Cantonese. Of course, my mom was Cantonese, but she didn't speak Cantonese to us. So anyway, that's a story for a different day. So
We are going live already.
We're actually in Penang. Okay, and if you're here, just drop us a note to say hi, to make sure this
I share first.
stream is smooth, to make sure that you can hear us. Okay, we are of course in one of the happening cafes here in Penang. Because it's a public area, so we cannot speak too loud, but of course we have a mic. So just want to make sure that the mic and all that is okay.
Yeah,
And
just
then,
let us know if you can hear us clearly.
Are you
I
done?
can, yeah, I'm
Okay.
done. I'm done
Alright,
sharing.
so my turn.
Alright.
You want
So
to do your
today is
hellos?
Friday, right?
Yep.
Oh wow, Friday 2:50. I'm not sure if it's like there will be anyone tuning in right now. If you're tuning in right now, right, and it's convenient for you to, in a way, drop a note to say hi and let us know whether you can hear us clearly or not. Please help us to do so, yeah? Okay, so, yeah, we just want to come up with this impromptu Facebook Live, okay? Thanks to Kong Yu, because he wanted to do a reflection, right? After a very, I would say, hectic months, okay, before, and the whole entire August as well.
Correct.
And of course, leading up to the Power Up, okay, retreat, okay, Power Up Your Life in Song Yen last week. I was just reflecting on it, and it's like so fast. Today's Friday,
That's right.
you know.
It's already
Last week,
1 week already.
Last week we were doing the movements now
We were
already.
doing the movement,
Yes.
our session after lunch.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
also I wanted to touch base before I forget, because it is a very powerful month, and as you've been following our work, whether or not you're empowered, it doesn't matter. But if you've been following our work online, we've been talking about the power of August from so many perspectives.
Yeah.
It's of course a very, it's a water monkey month. The metal water energies are of course very strong, right? In a very powerful year,
Yeah.
and in a very seasonal energy, but it is ahead of the seasonal energy. That's how we'll put it, because water also has suddenly become very accessible and in fact very strong. And it is very unique because it's just fresh out of summer. You know, normally when water energy is at its weakest. So this August is truly a reflective month. It's also of course the human's portal, right? We just closed up the 7th lunar month,
Yep.
per se, right? About to start a new cycle already.
Yeah. We
So
have not officially closed out, right? Have we? I have not checked.
Okay.
No, we have
We're
not.
past the peak.
Yeah, we have
That's
passed. We have passed because Sunday was the Sunday was
The full moon.
Full moon.
That's right.
Yeah.
So we've just passed the peak, right, of the 7th lunar month. And there's so many powerful energies, particularly when it comes to self-reflection, right? Creating the opportunity, the circumstances, the events, no matter where you were, right? Of course, if you were in a program like Power Up, right, purposely timed to this particular moment of the year, right? Then of course it will be even more obvious, right? Whatever that's happened. But before I proceed any further, I'm going to take a look around you as to what's been happening, because it being such a truly powerful month for reflection,
Yeah.
right? So do not waste an opportunity, even though you've been caught up with day-to-day type of work, right? Because it's a very powerful month to do exactly the activities of self-reflection, a realization, right? And how to go forward from here, right? Because this is a very powerful point of the year to do that. Before, of course, the energies change slightly differently in September, and then for the rest of the year. So, yeah, try to have some space, right? If you are caught up in very much day-to-day type activities, your deliverables, your normal deadlines, you don't have the space and the opportunity to do more of this reflective work, then set aside some intent to do this while we still have about 2 weeks more,
Yeah.
right, of the water monkey month.
It's like generally 1 week, 1 week, slightly more than 1 week, 10 days probably.
That's right.
Yeah,
Right.
okay, and
then-
just like how Kong Yu have put it, right? Okay, I think it's also a very, very good time for us to remind ourselves to listen to our hearts, all right? Because it's like, you know, most of the time we're so caught up with all the mundane work to do. Okay, all our responsibilities, all the deadlines and everything, the work, etc., etc. So, but during this particular full moon itself, of course, it's a super moon, and also the most intense of the humans portal. Okay, that is opening. That has opened. Okay, ever since the full moon last week itself, right? It is very important for us to, in a way, do spend some time reconnecting with our hearts. Okay, to I know what she wants, darling. Yeah. Okay. She wants to come over.
She wants but me.
It's like, how am I supposed to carry her if I'm carrying my iPad over here?
I will. No.
Why don't you carry her?
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
I'll do
Can
this.
you talk?
Okay.
Or carrying her?
Yes, I can. Yep. Okay, Coco, you come, right?
Yeah.
We are actually in Penang for a quick sort of family getaway. Right?
Yeah, mainly dedicated to all these furry kids.
To our two
right?
fur babies who always having been left behind at home right, for weeks and weeks.
Yeah.
So we've been planning this trip mainly for the two of them for so long.
Of course, we have another one just right opposite us, thanks to Anne, who insisted to bring her along.
And very much insisted on bringing our cat along.
Yes.
But I have to say that, so because she's a very good girl, so far she's been so good.
Yeah.
Right?
So this
right.
family trip is mainly for the fur babies, where it's quite handy if you have them around.
Okay,
and you know, like she will always want to come to my side, and I've
stay.
no place to put my iPads.
Hold it
Okay, I hold it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's talk about reflections. Let's talk about, I have some things to share, and particularly when it comes to energy.
But before that, I think we say hello to Melvi Gadas.
Hi, Mel.
Okay, Mr. Lim is there. Hey, how to say hello in Hokkien? Our half Hokkien boy here don't know how to say. I know it's like something like, is it hobo or hua hi dio ho or ha hi ho? Lian is there.
Yes,
Okay,
right.
Tammy Tan is there as well. Okay, yeah.
Okay, so it's such an amazing period, and personally, of course, it's been also like that for me. And I always try to re-anchor myself to like, okay, why is this happening? What is this event and my reaction telling me? And more importantly, what I need to do about it. So the month is super powerful for all of these type of reflective qualities. And one more thing that I didn't specifically highlight, which of course you probably know about this if you follow our updates, right, is that we are also now in the second 2/3 of the Mercury retrograde period as well. Right? So there's so many levels of these reflective review opportunities, these energies which are giving us the opportunity to do so. So that's why I really wanted to do this Facebook Live.
Yeah.
Right? But let's, you want to start with
Yeah, you can go ahead.
your reflections?
Yeah,
Okay.
you can go ahead first. Yeah.
Hi Katie, right, just a quick hello there.
Yeah. Do you want me to carry her?
Since she wants you.
Yeah.
And mommy's here like this one. Yeah, let's just quick update on my page first, right? Make sure that this is updated. So, one of the things I realized, which is nothing unusual, okay? Of course, if you are used to the whole idea of energy, right? And thinking about everything that happens and everything of us and the world as energy, which, to be honest, you asked me 5-6 years ago, right? I would not have described life this way, right? It's a process, and to some people, if you're new to metaphysics, if you're new to the page, if you're new to us, then you might find also sometimes things might sound a little woo-woo. Like, why so vague? Yeah? Why everything is connected, everything is energy? But at this point of my life, I've come to accept that it is indeed the truth. It is the universal truth, right? Where everything, no matter whether it's a person, it's a chair, table, it's space in air, right? It's the space that is outside in outer space, it's all basically energy, right? It's made of particles that is vibrating at a certain frequency, right? So we all have it, our mass, our body, everything is actually constantly vibrating and moving. So when you look at energy as a constant source of vibration,
and it's all the same, right?
Yeah.
I mean, come to look at it scientifically now. He's the science boy here, okay? I mean, look at it like scientists come. It's all made up of atomic structures, everything, right? There are atoms inside our body. Am I correct? Even inside a molecule, there's an atom, right? The fundamental most, like I would say, root to everything.
Right.
And the same thing is like the atoms is also in every chair, buildings,
everything
everything in the air.
Right.
It's the same structures, which is the atom.
Correct.
And
because when it's in outer space, again, right? Just loosely so, right? It is, because we're not scientists, right? We try to understand it from that perspective. Of course, when you go into outer space, the way these particles behave is different, right? And that's why it is another whole level of study out there. But besides that, really, it is, everything is constantly made out of these atoms, molecules, and so on, and they're vibrating at a certain level. And because they're constantly vibrating, so obviously we're all connected by frequency, right? And some of these terms you hear before, right? Frequency, energy patterning, and all that is very important. But sometimes you either don't believe it, or you just don't have the level of the understanding yet, or the timing to really feel it that way. And so that's why I thought I wanted to share what I wanted to share, because if you look at it this way, then when you look at the totality of energy, then things start to, in a way, make better sense. But more importantly, hopefully, we start to understand how we can be more masterful. We can be more the boss, the master that's actually in charge of the frequency, instead of it being the other way around.
Yeah.
So I felt that the concept of preserving this, okay, which of course we have spoken about it before. Jesse has emphasized it in particular years before about the depending on the outlook, right, the forecast, right, certain months, certain years, it is very important for us to be aware of preserving our energy and not letting it leak. Right? You talked about leaking chi, leaking energy, right? And one of my aha moments all throughout this month, especially during the power up, right, is actually on this concept. Where is it that we are actually leaking energy, and how aware are we on this? And importantly, once we're aware, and if we're aware, then how much are we in control, right? So that we don't leak any more energy, or we prevent it from happening with some trigger event in the future. So that's very, very much important, right? Because if you look at the totality of energy, and if today I want to explain it more from the mind, body, and also speech perspective, right? Which is related to the cosmic trinity, right? Where we have basically everything that happens in the mind, and mind power is also something that's very heightened during this particular season. It's autumn, metal is the dominant energy, and then also if you look at other aspects like Mercury, for example, right? Basically it's water-based energy, which is produced by mind energy, which is metal. And so that's why it's very active. A lot of mind power is going on. Of course, if we know how to tap into it, then it becomes something that we can use for manifestation, where we have intents that's set in our mind. On the other hand, the less positive perspective, the yin perspective, would be like there would be too much going on in the mind, and our brain is scattered all over the place. So this is again one example when we do not have the power to be in control of our thoughts, right? All sorts of things can come up.
It's a two extreme, of possibilities, as you mentioned, is like the mind over emotions, right? Which is exactly the mind over emotions when it comes to a Ren Shen month, right? Where you have the monkey, which is of like a metal, yang metal, Geng metal, which also represents the full moon. That's why it heightens all during last week's full moon, super moon, which is also the nearest to Earth itself. And as the source of a trigger point, of all water, because the metal over here is actually the resource of water, and water is the emotions within our body itself. And when this happens, you can see that this month itself, you will see that the mind are so active, so strong, getting more powerful, right? And it also, in a way, like triggers a lot of different types, or different fields of emotions that will come out. And emotions are very important, right? Because as Kong Yu has made it as in like manifestation, how can we powerfully manifest? It's also how we can, in a way, redirect our emotions. Right? Because manifestations, one of it is visualization. You manifest and visualize as if that you have already have it, right? As if that you already made it, as if that this particular like situations or reality of that you wish has already happened in your mind.
Yep.
All right. So this is the best month for you to, in a way, do so.
Yeah.
And automatically, without awareness, okay, the emotions will also be erupted, will also be triggered because
Right.
due to the super, I would say, strong monkey, okay, which
Monkey,
is the metal element within
moon.
it. Yeah, and the moon also coincides
That's
that
right.
this particular month itself
Yes.
is also the super moon, okay, which is like a blue moon as well.
Yeah.
So all this, whether you're aware or not aware, it will trigger our emotions.
Yes.
But the thing is, with awareness, we know how to make use and go deep into all this information. We know why are we triggered, okay, how are we triggered, and how to, in a way, consciously focus on the trigger to allow us into the manifestations.
Yeah, that's why
Yeah.
it's occurring on both perspectives at the same time, right? We're creating the upcoming reality, but at the same time also we might be tripping ourselves up, right, with the more negative thoughts or the unfocused thoughts. The other thing, the point
Yeah.
is that right, when we do not have control over it, then we will let the mind conjure up a lot of different possible
Yes.
things
Yeah.
talk in the mind,
Yeah,
right?
and that is when people will suffer and
Yes.
drown in their own emotions, and it will also happen heightened.
Metal produce water.
Yes, maximize this particular month as well. All right, so it is very important for us to in a way pay attention, okay, to these things which is happening to us, or to probably some of you. You can also share with us. It's like, how has your emotional well-being been, okay, for the past 1 month?
That's right.
The whole entire August.
So far when we started
okay?
the monkey bar,
Yeah.
yeah?
All right. How has it been? All right. Where is it directing you towards? Okay. Is it towards a lot of like hope, like gratitude, a lot of like light, swift energy, or is it in a way directing you towards a lot of like heavy energy, like sadness, pain, hurt, anger, frustrations, okay, so on and so forth as well.
Yeah.
Okay, that would be a good, at least first awareness and a focus point for us to focus on.
That's right. So we actually have such strong metal, pure metal, strong metal rather, producing water energies, right? Of course, heightened by the year and all that. And then we have similar purer chi next month, right, in the Kueo month as well. So that's why whatever it is, we have the opportunity to capture it if we can control not only our mind, but also manage the emotions that come with it. Metal producing water. The first two components of the 5 element cycle that eventually leads to manifestation. So that's how beautiful it is. But the awareness of the opportunity of the triggers happening, which means a lot of things like will pop up, right? And a lot of things will pop up to create possibly a lot of stories in our mind, right? And each of these stories will be energized, right? Because it's a form of energy that is starting to emerge, right? And of course, if we're emotionally triggered and reacting to these emotions, then we will trigger the energy further, right? The energy will come out even further, right? Not so much with our body, you know, the second component of us is our body, right? That means how we use our physical body, the actions and the deeds that we do, the places that we travel to, and the work that we need to carry out, right? But similarly, of course, we could also be leaking chi that way, right? Over-exercising is a very simple example, right? And doing things inefficiently.
Yeah, complaining, blaming,
Yes.
pointing fingers,
Yeah,
all
that
right?
would be-
Victimizing self, okay?
Correct.
All these are like the basic fundamental indications of leaking chi.
Yes.
All right, so I think for as individual, okay, at least 100% within our control is like how we put awareness, okay, into any moments at all that we go into a spur of blaming, victimizing, complaining, pointing fingers and all those things as well, okay? Because I personally believe that once we can stop this, okay, once we can stop this, we can harness the energy within ourselves. Okay, firstly, once we can harness the energy within ourselves that is not leaking, then we can use this momentum of energy within ourselves. Imagine that now you are not leaking any energy at all in your physical body. And this particular energy that's keep on circulating within your body becomes a momentum of a energy ball. Right, it keeps circulating and it will get bigger and it will get like stronger, and you can redirect this particular energy out, okay, through awareness of speech.
Yes.
Starting to vibrate out through the throat,
Right.
like how Gong Yu has in a way talked about it.
Yeah.
And once this in a way has been vibrated out through the throat, okay, the full energy, that is when the first step of manifestations is going to happen.
Right. I mean, there's so many ways energy basically exudes. It comes out, right? Because it begins in the mind, and then it will find its outlet somehow, and hopefully it comes out productively and not in a self-sabotaging fashion, right? In all those ways that is possible, blame, victimization, and so on and so forth. But one of the most potent, the most powerful of all, which is the things that we say, right? Having it in the mind is one thing, right? Verbalizing it gives it even more power.
Yeah.
So, and sometimes it's very challenging or difficult to control our speech.
Yes.
But it is definitely something that requires what?
Awareness.
Awareness, first
is
of
the
all,
key.
yes.
Because a lot of times I like this topic, okay, when it's brought up, okay, like straight away, it's like a lot of times we don't even pay attention to the words that we utter. Not even say, you know, sometimes it's just get, you know, a slumber, you just say certain words.
Yeah, well,
and
it's a habit.
Yeah, and
Oh,
whatever we utter, right, it's already a leakage of energy. Example is like, oh my God, it's so jammed. It's just that. And there's nothing wrong with that, right? I mean, you are merely stating a statement, but this statement is a disempowering statement. All right? But of course, the more emotions you put into that particular sentence, it's like, let's say you put in more frustrations, like, you know, some F words or whatever will come out. It's like, F, it's so jammed. Example, you put in some more emotions into it, the more, in a way, victimizations, the more enslaving, okay, we get ourselves into. All right, so it's like, it's just simple things. Sometimes you just like, something just happened, you're just like, you get small thing, you're not even dealing with people, you're not even complaining or talking to people. You can be just talking to yourself. But this moment itself, okay, can in a way determines whether we are leaking that energy out or we are in a way harnessing that energy within us as a transformer, transform the energy, not vibrating the negative energy, but then in a way transform it with the awareness and vibrate out is a positive energy. Right, okay, so that particular work itself, I mean, it works for me, okay, and I know that if we have the awareness, of course, I'm still a work in progress as well, but I realize that over the years, right, okay, the more awareness we have on these small little things, right, the more powerful you can become, and the more, I would say, successful, in control of yourself, and the more successful you are when it comes to your own personal manifestations as well.
Yeah, right. And of course, I always, at this particular juncture of my life, at this particular moment, I always find that that is one role that I am fulfilling, right? Which is like, where is it that we are actually having these areas of improvement, right? Or you can bluntly call them weakness, right? Or loopholes, right? And so on. I find that when I discover that is when I become obviously, you know, more in control and more powerful, right? So a lot of the work that I personally have to actually tidy up as well is in this, right? Where is it that I am unnecessarily speaking, even though you may not think of me of a type who speaks all the time, right? But you know, I have my personal life, I have my own journey, I have my own tests as well. So I personally this month, this was a big reminder to me, even though it's, again, we talk about energy, preservation of energy. The other perspective, of course, is not so much today maximizing your energy, right? It's a related subtopic, but today is more, or this month rather, my personal lessons are more that, right? The awareness of the words that I use and how disempowering it can be for myself.
Yeah.
And how much energy can be wasted by in just simple words. And sometimes, of course, it might be words spoken out of a tantrum, right? A quick release, a quick knee-jerk reaction to someone or something, right? And sometimes it's just being angry, right?
And
losing temper,
yes,
right? At a spur of moment, you say a few words. It just needs to be a few words, and there itself already is not only a disempowerment in that perspective, but it's a leakage.
Yeah.
And also, whatever you leak, this is energy, right? So you have to think about it this way: it goes somewhere, which means that it starts to then build into another result, another result, another karma.
Yeah.
There will be some karma to be experienced based on that leakage.
The moment we start to argue with a person or trying to, in a way, reason out with a person, right? The possibilities, especially when there's a presence of frustration or anger, okay, or tantrum in that moment, it's already a leakage of energy. Right? So therefore, I believe that why it's like certain standard masters or high monks or high lamas, okay, they always give us the homework or practices like chanting or meditations or whatever to bring us to that state of calmness most of the time. Okay, when we see people like probably trying to pick a fight, okay, with us, or like pointing, picking on us or whatever, can we remain that calm, okay, without again joining them in that fist or fiesta of emotional tantrum, okay, right, that's been throwing out. That's a very good cultivation, because now we can, I would say, ensure that the energy within us is not leak out. I mean, unless the person is someone that you have very clarity that you know that you want to use a bit of your energy, leak out on them in order to make them better, okay, to transform them, because you need to leak energy to zap them or to burn them alive, okay, all right, in order for them to be transformed. But let's say, for instance, I know sometimes we bring ourselves to just random strangers or people who does not really matters or whatever, and they pick up a fight, okay, outside or whatever. We have to clearly ask ourselves, is it even worth it? Okay, it's not worth it, because it's like, it will in a way be draining to our energy.
And because by hook or by crook, and whether when the energy turns and whatever flips around, we talk a lot about, and with Joston as well, right? A lot of emphasis is on not only masterfully taking control of our life and crafting it, but also in manifestation, right? In creating the life that we actually want, right?
Yeah.
Instead of having a life that, or areas of it that result in like things which are totally opposite than what we wanted in the first
Yeah,
place.
exactly, because it's like previously when we talked about the Grand Central portal, okay, opening, and also since 2020, we've emphasized a lot on breakthrough. Right, those are the years that in a way a person should get ourselves into maximum potential of breakthroughs, so that from this year onwards, a period 9, that's why this year we're going to Nepal. We're going to this like one of the highest temple on earth itself, the Mutidat temple, to throw in these manifestations, okay? I mean, of course, we still talk about breakthrough. Everyone needs breakthrough, including ourselves, okay? But the thing is, it's like, we should assume that based on the timeline and the dates of how the stars align, the breakthrough should have done way before this, okay, way before the Grand Central portal opens, way before period 9 officially comes in, which is this year. Where this year onwards, up to at least 2026 to 2028, these are all manifestation, right? This is heightening of energy and how to throw our energy out for the ultimate manifestations of the realities or the dreams or the goals that we want to see at the end of the day. Yeah.
That's why again and again, this year 2024 is super crucial. It's super crucial to really go really deep and just be very brave, right? And very brave with our honesty with ourselves, right? And again, it's also a theme for us in our different lessons with each other, lessons with the people around us, and so on. And this is really the year, because after this you will have much less astrology or universal energy supporting us in this, right?
Yeah.
Recently I used the word, it's either do or die, right? Not literally, but really, right? In whatever those things that have been creeping up on you that you've been pushing away, right? Or things which are half done or not yet fully done, breakthroughs which are half broken through but not followed up so that it's completely released, right, and transformed yet.
Yeah.
So really, we have a few more months right, to actually have this. So that, again, going back to that word manifestation, so that it's working in our favor. So we know how to do it, and one of the key things is making sure that we maximize our energy as much as possible, and then be able to hold it, contain it as much as possible. And when it's directed outwards, it's not a leakage, but it's an actual direction.
Yes.
Right? So of course, one of the other main parts of this is in the speech, right? What comes out in the energy, the vibration of our voice, whether it's through words, it's through expression, it's through the energy of how we use those words, even though sometimes we don't use the words, right? We can sometimes you vocalize on whether it's positive or negative, it's screaming, and so on and so forth, where we don't actually need words, but the energy has come out in that particular case. So we want to be in control of this through awareness, and at the same time also we want to be able to then use it effectively.
Yes.
Right, and so that's where the current flow is heading. How do we master that flow?
Yeah, and I like that you bring up the fact that you mentioned about screaming. All right, I mean, I have had also, of course, like students who have asked before, as in like, why is it certain times when I do all this inner work with you, okay, I felt that there's a lot of like release, a lot of screams, and then after some time it feels like there's nothing much that comes out. And also it's like, why are we like not screaming all the time? It's like, but why is it that whenever you see that I do my inner work thing, it's like there will be one part, okay, that we focus on screaming work, okay, releasing of energy, okay. I've even done like swearing meditations as well, okay. Those of you who attended, you will know, especially since like last year Power Up and all. Now, for me, you have to understand, you see, just now I mentioned that with awareness, okay, whatever energy that we, in a way, have triggered within us, means that if someone says something, the weather is hot, the road is jammed, there's no parking, someone mentioned something, okay, negatively about you, someone triggered you emotionally, okay, within yourself. Once this is triggered, it means that the waves of emotion within us has been triggered. And emotions means it's energy in motion. It means that some energy has been triggered, awakened within us. Now, the thing now is we have to be aware of this energy so that we do not want to allow it to come out verbally from us as a complaint of a sense of sentences that enslave us, that puts us into like, I'm a victim sort of like mentality. So you see, a lot of people with the awareness, they will know how to control this, okay? The more awareness you have. Example for me is like, if I have seen people like swearing and yelling at me or cursing at me or scolding me directly to the face, I mean, generally I wouldn't react, okay? Because it's like, I wouldn't react negatively, I wouldn't bring myself up to that level of frustrations or anger because I know whatever that's been shared is not true. So, but does it trigger some movement of energy within me? Yes, it does. So when it's triggered, I have the awareness to use this energy to transform it. It's like, imagine just now, I mentioned that we are the transformer because we are the soul, we are the spirit, and spirit, we are the pure essence of fire element. We are the star seeds. The star seeds means that, imagine the sun, the nearest star to our solar system, right? We are the rays of the sun, a star seed that has come out. So we are that fire element. Our spirit is that fire element within us. And this spirit can help us to transform this energy from a heavy energy to a lighter energy. Before every words that we say out, okay, it gets manifested in a lighter form of energy. Now imagine, not every people knows how to exercise this. Not many people knows how to, in a way, transform this energy. Now imagine there will be some people throughout their entire life itself, the emotions got triggered, they got poked left, right, center, they scold into the face, where some of them will be leaking of energy by scolding back, getting themselves into the same situations and be like the person who is like running amok or whatever. But there will be some people who in a way just take it in within themselves, but without in a way knowing how to transform it. Example, when you're a child, when you are in a way still like a newbies in in a corporations, okay, where you have superiors, they are called superiors is because they are superior over you. So when these things happen, you in a way tend to swallow this energy. This energy has been triggered, okay, it got circulated, okay, it got built up in terms of energy, but it cannot come out as a release, okay? You cannot, in a way, bring it out neutrally. You don't know how to neutralize it and bring it out in a higher energy level. So when these things happen, it means a lot of us have all these trapped, heavy emotions within us. And when we go into a swearing meditations or any exercises that requires you to release yourself, to scream, okay, to release yourself out in the open. That's why you see most of the time when we do all these things, it's like in a way, if there's a choice for us to do it outdoor, we'll do it outdoor, okay? If there's no choice for us to do it outdoor, we do in an environment where they are in a way openings, okay, of doors. We leave the doors open to do it. If not, let's say for instance, if we do it in the studio, okay, if you're aware, okay, both Kong Yu and myself and Nicole will be in a way going around, okay, transforming, consciously redirecting this energy up so that it's like, it won't be so heavy emotions or energy that's trapped there, okay, whenever release that happen. You will see senior students, even Susim and all, you will see that she will consciously know how to, in a way, direct this energy up to enlighten it. So when we do all this like screaming, okay, like releasing of energy, release through breath work, release through screaming or whatever, we are releasing all this energy which has been trapped within us outside of us. And of course, it's the best thing to do it outdoor. Outdoor, in the open, okay, is the best, okay, right? Or in a sacred places, because you see outdoor, the energy is whenever these places has the penetration of the sun. Remember, we are only star seeds. We are the rays or the small little dots of like rays, okay, from the sun. But the sun itself is the star. So whenever there are penetrations of the sun towards that particular area, it will automatically transform it. That's why in Feng Shui we say, okay, in a way, like whenever we have a bright hall means what? Bright hall means a place that is big and spacious and the sun can penetrate through. Okay? Ming Tang means sun and moon. The day, Yat, and the Yut, the night, the moon, can penetrate through this area. Right? Why is it a bright hall? A bright hall means that the sun and the moon can penetrate. It's an open space. As long as the sun and moon can penetrate, it fa man sat. That's why in Chinese Feng Shui it says that Ming Tong fa man sat. Okay? Why is it? Because this particular collective location where the sun and moon, okay, can penetrate through it, okay, anytime, okay, any time of the day or night, okay, right, this particular area can automatically transform heavy energy to lighter energy. So therefore, when we do it, we have done it in Sakara open space that used to be a sound temple before, right? We have done it in the desert, open desert, okay? So every time that we do it, especially outdoor, all right, you do not have to worry about this energy being excreted out, because once it is out, the sun will transform into all this negative energy and immediately change it, okay, into a positive one. That's why whenever we do inner works like retreat of like power up and all that, right, you will see that there will be some activities that is done outside, okay, of the main hall itself, right? So whenever we are out, okay, it transforms all this energy. Remember that we do the balloon exercise, right, with all your negative energy written on it. And remember how painful that 90-degree arms are, okay? And everyone is basically cursing and swearing, but it's outdoor. As long as you're doing it outdoor with the sun shining upon you, there's a moment that we can cleanse ourselves.
And even the whole hall itself is so bright and airy.
Yeah,
right?
bright,
all the
airy,
energy
and
can be directed outwards. Yeah. So there you go. So that's why the importance of this, right? This whole idea of energy preservation and conservation, and then how to masterfully be in control to direct it towards the release in the way that you are actually in control. That means you are directing your own manifestation. And so important, and it's so profound on so many levels. And there see so many different examples, right, of us undergoing the examples of the triggers, the examples of the action. For example, Jessie was talking about, if you choose, like us, for example, we need to exude our energy in expressing ourselves, in sharing these things with you, right? So it becomes an energy usage.
Yeah.
But this is what we do.
Yes.
Right? At the same time, Jessie was saying that example of like sometimes as a guru or like maybe like a mentor, mother, for example, or a coach, you have to basically exude the same energy to have that. To do the training part,
yes.
Right?
Well, someone has got to do the dirty work.
Right.
Yeah.
Somebody has to do the training
Yeah.
and be the whip master of
Yes.
type of coach. But that's a choice, right? That's a choice, and if it's related to your life and it's something that you want to take on, then realize that again there will be a consequence to that.
I think later on I want to pan the camera over to show
We
this
will,
table.
yes.
All right, because it's like we have our team, which is gladly, of course, is also mainly consists of my children and plus one.
Yeah.
They are like all putting in a lot of effort because we have so much to share towards the end of the year, you know, right? Okay. Of course, Anne, Nicole, Susie, okay, right? Gordon is here with Kok Hei as well, okay. Everyone is also in a way busy, putting in a lot of effort preparing the informations, okay, and the detailing works, okay, that we want to share with like all of you, okay, who are connected with us through Soleil Trinity as well.
Speaking of sharing, since you're watching this and you're sharing your energy and watching this, attention and focus and energy in watching this particular Facebook Live, right? Just a quick hello to those that we have not said hi to yet. Right? I think Katie is here with us, Chun Pon in Thailand, Jacqueline Lau, Brian.
Yes.
Chun Pon says, mentioning supermoon, I can't see the moon since the actual supermoon day because it's been raining every day in Chiang Mai.
I mean, similar here when we were there, we hardly see the moon. Not every moment you can catch a glimpse of it. And it gives me a realization that, you see, The sun and the moon. The sun is that ultimate clarity. Okay, the moon is the shadow
It likes to
that
hide.
shows us the reflection of the sun. So when we see a full moon, it means that our shadow part means the moon that comes without any light. Okay, the shadow, the darkness of ourselves. Okay, the yin part of ourselves here. The sun has shine upon it and it reflects on the light itself to bring whatever unseen to the seen level, whatever unconscious to the conscious level, whatever in the dark to the light. Okay, so during a full moon, it's supposed for us to meditate upon a full moon to bring all this unconscious to the conscious, subconscious to conscious, unknown to the known. Okay, and yin to the yang. But during this week also for ourselves, I realized that okay, at where we were at Celesta, Song Yan and all that, we can also hardly see the moon. Because only occasionally you will see that it will open up for a short glimpse of the full moon, and then will be covered with the dark clouds again. Alright, so therefore, okay, I will also say that this is a moment which is another indication and a sign to me is like majority of the people out there couldn't see the moon in real life.
Yeah, and I also say that it's a sign of emotions taking over, overcrowding.
Right? Because the cloud.
Yes.
The clouds
Overpowering.
the clarity of our inner self, overclouding our subconscious mind. So it gives me a sign that when I look upon the moon, right, okay, I still see a lot of clouds, dark clouds itself. It's like every now and then it is in a way covering the moon, right? It shows that there are still many out there, many of us, where at times we allow our emotions to cover our subconscious. Our emotions are covering the deep truth within our subconscious, okay, that we cannot allow it to be shine, to be lighted, okay, to in a way stands out, okay, in the dark itself. So, I mean, for me, I see it as a sign that there's still much more work to do for all light workers out there. And when I say light workers, it's not only us, it's not only Kong Yu, myself, and Josen, and the team, but it's also to each and every one of you who has been steadfastly, loyally following our sharing, okay, to all our senior students, like I can see here Brian, okay, of course, like I mentioned just now, Lian was here, Mr. Lim is here as well, okay, Susim, okay, and the rest of you who are seniors into whatever that we do, you know who you are, share the light out. Shirley, okay, share the light out, because the world needs more of this light. The world needs more of people who can interpret, okay, the darkness into light for them. All right, so we need more and more of all these people to put in the work, okay, to put in this, I would say, purpose of our soul itself, okay, because you see, if that is my purpose, and if you guys are connected to me, there's a very high likely that this could be your purpose as well, because there are many teachers and gurus out there with different purpose in their life, okay? And everyone, I will say with my uttermost respect as well, they are doing the best for their own purpose and their own calling. So if you guys are connected to me in some whatsoever reasons, or us in whatsoever reason, then the chances is you're connected with almost the same purpose, right?
Yes.
So therefore, it's like, that's why I keep on encouraging my students to keep sharing your light.
That's right.
Keep sharing your purpose, all right? Whatever little that you have learned, whatever little that you have heard from us sharing on, even on the Facebook Live, okay? Share it out to the people around you. Share it out to your friends, your family members, your loved ones, all right?
Yeah.
Because you know, these particles of the light, okay, that has been shared onto you, all right, it will keep on lighting on others' candles as well. It will keep on lighting on others' soul as well. And that's how, okay, all these things work at the end of the day.
And then also, if you are like in my position, which I think many people may be, right? So, and we're constantly, of course, still working on ourselves, a work in progress, where we are also not only working on ourselves, but we're also at the fundamental level, we're healing ourselves. So remember, as long as you're constantly on that path, you constantly remind yourself to not give up and to not be too contented at every single level, then you also in turn have the power to heal other people.
Yes.
Right? In your own way, within your own world, within the people that come across your path as well. So,
Alatia, as they say, hi.
right?
And of
Another
course,
way
she's
to
one
say
of
it,
them as
that's
well.
right. Another way to say it is that you be the light to other people, right? But remember that you also have the ability, also as you heal and empower and improve yourself, you can also share that same energy outwards to those who are around you. Yeah? Brian was saying, in terms of emotions, so fluctuating, get annoyed easily and impatient. but also a lot of creative ideas flowing. So that's good.
That's good, yeah.
Agnes is here with us. Hi.
Hi,
I hope you're still there.
Agnes. Yeah.
Alexis Wong says pampered dog.
Agnes, you are there, right? Okay. The other day
Yes.
during the Egypt briefing, I forgotten to welcome her officially. Okay. So Agnes, you are welcome on board our Sacred Souls Journey to Egypt for this year, 2024.
Yes.
Speaking of which, also, okay, I also want to welcome Andrew and Siwei, who have officially joined
Finally.
us to Nepal.
On board.
Yeah, which breaks my 99 students. Now I get up to 101 students who is going to Nepal. So in case those of you, okay, if you feel there's a calling for you to join us October 11th, all right, up to October 20th, okay, this year, to the Sacred Journey Nepal, okay, where we are focusing on manifestations, right? So yeah, do drop us a note, okay? Do drop our office number, Nicole or Susie, okay, or email or WhatsApp, okay, to know and get to know more about this Sacred Journey, which is happening in October this year.
Yes.
All right, so we have, in a way, there's no target for us, but we can still accept a few more seats. Like, who knows, we might get to the number of 108, like how most of the students of our senior students has been, in a way, manifesting that number.
Very powerfully, I have to say.
Very powerfully as well.
So even the Souls Journey in Nepal is shaping up to be very interesting so far, right? So yes, if you have the calling, please do
Yeah,
join
we have
us.
callings. If you have like friends or family members, okay, that you think that it will benefit them and they are also interested to, in a way, visit Sacred Nepal as well, do in a way share these words with them and let them know, okay, so that we can send them the preview videos and all that for them to understand more into it, and then of course then follow their heart to see whether there's a really calling for them to actually join us on this year's Sacred Journey to Nepal. All right, anything else?
Just a quick hello, Mindy from
Yeah,
California,
Mindy.
US.
Hi, Mindy.
And
Thank you for joining
Laurie
us.
Glam from Japan. So two opposite sides of the world.
Yeah.
And thanks for joining us.
Okay, I
Okay.
guess basically that's all.
Yes, that's all.
Thank you
Right.
so much for being with us.
Yes.
Right? Even though it's like a random Friday afternoon, and yet like some of you are still here, staying tuned with us. Okay,
Yes.
we really appreciate it. I think before we end the sessions, I will ask Nicole. Wait, cannot Nicole? You have to sit back where you are and doing your work. I can
So
pan
we
the
pan-
video.
I'll pan it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
right.
Yeah. So Kong
Yeah.
Yu can actually pan. Okay, the videos. All right.
Yes.
To the table, to the environment that we are in, okay, and of course I will take this opportunity again to thank our very senior citizen over here, my mom, okay,
You will see her
she
after
have
I-
no clue what
I
I'm
move the
talking
camera,
about,
yes.
but nevertheless, you know, she is like Pen Nala as well, lah,
Okay.
So she has always been there as one of the pillar of strength to keep the babies safe, to keep the babies well fed, okay, to love them and to take care of them, so that the whole entire team can focus on our work dedicated to
That's
all
right,
of you.
and they love her so much. Coco
Yeah.
and Mocha love Papa so
Do come
much.
to Chiang Mai if
Yes.
there's an opportunity.
Yeah.
Thank
Okay.
you so much. Okay, Chong, Christine
Okay.
Chong, hi. Okay, hi there.
Okay.
All right, thank you, Elatier. Okay,
Okay.
for always being
have
also
the camera on
the
you?
torch of light. Okay, so that's Mocha, and this is Coco. She's the mummy's girl, and she's the one who always will cry to get right to be with me. Okay, and on my lap. Okay,
Let's,
and that's Nala.
our special
okay?
feature here for this trip.
Yeah.
A very good girl also.
Yeah, she has
Okay.
been very good. Okay,
Alright, and
right.
then-
Thanks to Ann Tete, insist to
Hi,
bring her
everyone.
along. Right, everyone can say hi. Okay. All right, thank you so much to all of you. And yep, the upcoming months itself, okay, there will be more lessons, okay, and more learnings, right, based on the energy of every single month itself. Do stay tuned with us, okay, as we share with you, like, in a way, awareness and ways to, in a way, cope with all these learnings, all right, of the energy that's upcoming. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Say bye-bye.
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 Okay.